What is up, guys, and welcome back to Fictional Forensics. Today, we are unpacking a true psychological mindbender that will absolutely fry your brain. Picture this: you have the perfect life. You're 33 years old. You live in a stunning house in northwest London, right on the edge of Hampstead Heath. Your husband is a famous fashion photographer who shoots semi-naked models for a living. You are the ultimate power couple. But then, on the hottest day of the year, the illusion violently shatters. Your neighbor hears gunshots. The cops roll up to your house in pitch-black darkness, and they find your husband tied to a chair with wire, shot 5 times directly in the face. The overkill is insane. His handsome features are completely gone, leaving a bloody mess. And you? You are just standing there in a white dress glowing like a ghost, with fresh, deep cuts across your wrists, completely silent. Grab your coffee, lock your doors, and let's dive into the absolute madness of the silent patient. Here is where things get incredibly sus. The woman covered in blood is Alicia Berenson, a brilliant painter. She survives her suicide attempt, but when the cops question her, she completely ghosts reality. She doesn't speak a single word. Not a syllable. The media goes completely feral. They paint her as this cold-blooded Black Widow monster. But Alicia's only statement to the world isn't spoken, it's painted. Right after the murder, while under house arrest, she demands her paints and creates a chilling self-portrait. She paints herself naked in her studio, holding a paintbrush dripping with red paint or maybe blood, and she titles it Alcestis. Now, if you don't know Greek mythology, Alcestis is a tragic heroine who willingly sacrifices her life to die in place of her husband. But when she comes back from the dead, she remains completely mute. What is Alicia trying to tell us? Because of her absolute silence, the judge accepts a plea of diminished responsibility, and she gets locked away in a secure psychiatric unit called the Grove. Fast forward 6 years. Alicia hasn't spoken a word. Enter our narrator, Theo Faber. Theo is a 42-year-old criminal psychotherapist. And honestly, guys, Theo is walking a massive red flag. He is borderline obsessed with Alicia's case. He literally quits his job at Broadmoor just to secure a position at the Grove so he can be the one to finally make her talk. But right from the jump, we realize Theo has severely damaged himself. He had a brutal childhood with a father who had arbitrary, violent rages. Theo's dad would drag him out from under the bed and whip him with a belt. The trauma was so heavy that when Theo was at university, he tried to end his own life by swallowing packets of paracetamol. He survived, got into therapy with a woman named Ruth, and decided to become a therapist to fix himself. He thinks he can save Alicia because he understands madness. But Theo's life is currently falling apart. He is married to an American actress named Kathy, a woman he calls the love of his life. But one night, after smoking some weed he bought off a sketchy guy in Camden Market, Theo gets super high and accidentally knocks over Kathy's laptop. The screen lights up, and he sees her email inbox. He finds a chain of hardcore, explicit emails between his wife and a guy named Badboy22. Theo reads every single one and realizes his wife is hooking up with a total stranger. But instead of confronting her, Theo completely internalizes it. He stalks her. He literally follows Kathy to a park and hides in the woods, listening to her moan while this mysterious guy hooks up with her. So, yeah, our hero therapist is deeply, deeply disturbed. Meanwhile, at the psych ward, Theo starts pushing Alicia's boundaries. The head psychiatrist, a guy named Christian, has Alicia drugged up on a massive dose of risperidone. Theo gets the dosage lowered so she can actually feel things. And Alicia's response? She literally leaps across the room and tries to strangle Theo, digging her fingernails into his neck until he hits his panic alarm. But Theo doesn't quit. He pushes harder. And eventually, Alicia hands him her ultimate secret, her hidden diary. Through this diary, we step into Alicia's mind in the weeks leading up to the murder. We find out she hated the fact that Gabriel kept an old rifle in the house. But more terrifyingly, she felt like she was being hunted. Alicia wrote about seeing a mysterious man standing across the street, hiding in the shadows of the park, just watching her house. She even took a blurry photo of him. She told Gabriel, but Gabriel basically gaslit her, acting like she was losing her mind. He dragged her to a doctor, drive west, to put her back on heavy medication. Alicia pretended to take the pills, but she was secretly spitting them out into the sink. As Theo reads the diary, we realize everyone in Alicia's life was completely toxic. There's Gabriel's brother, Max, who is an absolute creep. Alicia writes that during a barbecue, Max cornered her in the kitchen and forcibly kissed her, assaulting her until she bit his tongue hard enough to draw blood. Then there's Jean Felix, her possessive gallery manager, who showed up uninvited to her house, acting incredibly jealous and warning her not to trust the people around her. Even her own family is insanely messed up. Theo travels to Cambridge to talk to Alicia's cousin, Paul. Paul tells Theo a horrifying secret. After Alicia's mother died in a car crash, her grieving father, Vernon, was drunk in the garden and yelled out loud, "Why didn't Alicia die instead?" Alicia, who was just a little girl hiding on the roof, heard her father wish she was dead. Theo realizes this was the moment Alicia's soul was murdered. Her father committed psychic infanticide. Back at the psych ward, things take a brutal turn. Theo convinces the staff to let Alicia have her paints and canvases back so she can express herself. She paints a picture of the grove burning down, with Theo carrying her out of the flames. But another patient, a massive, violent woman named Elif who murdered her own mother and sister, defaces Alicia's painting, writing the word slut across it in red paint. And guys, Alicia does not hold back. During a confrontation, Elif taunts Alicia, telling her that Theo is in love with her. Alicia snaps. She grabs a paintbrush and literally plunges it directly into Elif's eye. The ward descends into chaos. Blood is everywhere, Elif is screaming in agony, and Alicia is completely calm, staring at Theo like an unbothered statue. Alicia is thrown into solitary confinement. Theo knows he's out of time. He forces one last session with her. He tells her he knows about her father wishing her dead. He tells her he understands her pain. And finally, after 6 years of absolute silence, Alicia opens her mouth. Her voice cracks like an old, rusty gate, and she speaks. She tells Theo about the night of the murder. She says the man who had been stalking her finally broke into her studio. He wore a black mask with dark, empty eyes, and held a knife to her throat. He dragged her into the house, tied her to a chair with wire, and waited in the sweltering heat for Gabriel to come home. When Gabriel finally walked in, the masked man knocked him out, tied him up, and shot him 6 times before vanishing. But here is the ultimate true crime twist. As Theo writes all this down, he takes it to Professor Diomedes. And the professor drops a bomb. She's lying. Diomedes believes the masked man never existed, that Alicia made the whole thing up to cast herself as the innocent victim. But Fictional Forensics family, in a story filled with cheating spouses, corrupt doctors, and hidden stalkers, is the silent patient really a master manipulator? Or is the monster still out there, hiding in plain sight? Drop your craziest theories in the comments below. If this deep dive fried your brain, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay safe, and trust absolutely no one.